Listen up, get ready, I'm not gonna take no more. There's a revolution, a revelation going on in my soul. Buckle up, get ready, we're not gonna sit back.
Citizens of the world, welcome back to Live from the Heartland for the week of June 19th. And to round out our show, we are honored to have Vicky Guy coming on, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about a fellow named David Boogie Gonzalez, who was a violence interrupter or de-escalator. And good day to you, Vicky.
Hello. Thank you, Michael. I'm actually the president of the Gonzalez Foundation. We created this foundation for troubled youth and giving scholarships. And so with this event we're having on June 20th for my uncle. So David Boogie Gonzalez was my uncle, and I was brought into this pretty much this initiative from my aunt who wanted to recreate a mural for David Boogie Gonzalez. So little history on who David Boogie Gonzalez was. He was the first de-escalator in Chicago and pretty much architect every blueprint now what nonprofits like New Life go into the community, pretty much grab the youth, giving them an opportunity or outlet that they didn't have or don't have. So pretty much what he done was grab troubled youth, pretty much inspired by him because he was a gang member, an ex-gang member. And back in the 70s, there was early 70s, late 60s, there was a lot of violence happening. And from what I hear, again, I wasn't born then, but from what I hear, it was very, very tumultuous, and it was very rough to live on the inner city streets of Chicago. And so what happened was my other uncle came back from Vietnam, went to Vietnam, came back, kind of was PTSD, wasn't really the same, but he didn't die in Vietnam. He died on the city streets of Chicago. So this is what sparked an ignition with pretty much a light and fire with David Boogie Gonzalez. My uncle was, seeing that happen to his brother, his older brother, and he decided to change his life around. And within so many years that he had, early years that he had, he did a lot of change. And he died actually, ironically, by gang violence. Not intended target, but it was a drive-by shooting by Harrison Park. And they were not intending to shoot at him, but ended up getting, 2 people were shot. He was one that actually died from the shooting.
And I think we're joined here by Tanya. Is that your sister?
Yes, my sister. She's actually the vice president of the Gonzalez Foundation.
Hello, Tanya. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
We're good. So tell us, either one of you, tell us a little bit more about David Boogie Gonzalez and what you remember or know about him. What I know from looking up some stuff and hearing a little bit from you was that he was one of the early de-escalators of violence. He was an ex-gang member who unfortunately was mistakenly killed in a shooting. And we have put together, you all have put together an organization and an event in his honor. So fill us in a little bit on more about Boogie, if you can, Pilsen, and what you both know about the situation then and now. And perhaps then we'll get to the details about the event on Saturday.
As a continued legacy, for us as an extension of him, we want to continue his name and continue his legacy in regards to being a peace activist in a community and continuing on with that, legacy as well. And then also creating a safe space for the community where they have a place, a safe space, to actually to meet and to have, whatever picnics, basketball tournaments, what have you, in the park, in True Park, and to just commemorate him with an actual, a march, and just commemorating him again, and what he initially, when he passed away, and how the community came together and they formed together a peace march in his name to continue that. So I think that that's the importance of this, for us in wanting to continue this, his name in this whole process and this whole program that is in place. We have annual commemoration for him. So overall, this is
the third one you're going to do?
Yes.
Yes.
And tell me where it takes place and what time. It's on Saturday, I believe, the 20th. And where will it be taking place? And what will be happening?
So it will be taking place in Pilsen, Troop Park, which we're in the final phase of trying to change the name in honor of him. We're still in those phases right now, but this is the third annual event because this was a 3-phase project. The first phase of this project was to have a march, which we did the first year. We marched down Pilsen in honor of him. So this is the day he passed. This was more to remember of who he was, not that he passed. It was more of celebration of life and that his life goes on. And so this is why we pretty much mark it and saying, Boogie lives, because he does live within several communities that he pretty much the branches and the roots have spread across the world. Like there's so many people that come back to us and tell us that thank you for keeping this legacy going. People we've never met, and they come up to us and they said, the reason I do the work I do is because of him. And it was ripple effects that he had in several communities. And so the first phase again was the march. We did down 18th from Harrison Park, from where he was assassinated, and then walked down to Troop Park, which was a very successful event. And then we did the unveiling of the street naming. So there's a street naming on 18th and Troop. David Boogie Gonzalez, you can go take pictures. There's everything over there. And then the second phase of the project was getting the mural. So like I said, my aunt wanted this. It all started with restoring old mural. The project didn't go according to how we wanted, so we scratched it and we found a new wall, a bigger wall. And we started off from scratch, and it was a 3-story, actually even better, and explains everything of who he is. I don't think there's even a mural in Pilsen that actually tells a story, and this tells a story. And we got so many positive feedback from people within the community, and looking them up after the fact and understanding like, oh, I never even knew about, even the kids. We had so many people come inside the park that never came in the park while we were doing this mural in the dead of winter. My muralist, who was actually one of the youth that was impacted by David Boogie Gonzalez, and decided Boogie found, I guess, his innate creativity and tapped into him. And so that's why he became an artist and a muralist. And so he said he would want to do this. And that's what he did.
And to chime in there a little bit, because I know we didn't touch on like the history or the background, and a little bit more about Boogie, right? So just as a little bit of background, Boogie, he was pivotal in the community with in a change maker. So he worked at the community center, Casa Salon, and was actually helping people. There were several testaments and at our multiple events that we had over the years, and many people mentioning, hey, he didn't take me out of the community. I would have never been into the trades or graduated from high school. He showed me something different. We didn't know we could even, there was an opportunity to get out of the community because it was poverty, the economic situation, as well as the gang situation, and him being a change maker and actually putting time into the community and people in the community and showing that, hey, you could make a difference in your life. You don't have to resort to violence or criminal activities, or even your current economic situation. There's opportunities out there. There's opportunities for for scholarships and things like that, or even just working towards that. So that's how we initially started our nonprofit organization, through a scholarship foundation at Benito Juarez, and then it just evolved into commemorating. We want to do something and give back to the community where our parents are from, and our families.
Let me ask you, is there a way that people can get a hold of either of you to learn more? And am I correct in that it's this Saturday, I don't know what time, at 18th and Troop, at Troop Park?
Yeah, Troop Park, 1811 South Troop. It's from 10 to 3, pretty much wrapping up at 3. We will have opening up with a prayer, have food, drinks, a live DJ, Mexican folk dancers that are from a youth organization. They're coming to dance. It's a really great event. People love coming out to it. Just as soon as we started, it just has grown. And then also a mariachi band that will come in and we'll be closing out with a DJ. So come learn more. We'll be having different vendors out there to come talk about, just certain small businesses that are going around in the area.
Let me just say, if people go to Google and look up David Boogie Gonzalez, there's a lot of information, and there's some articles about when he had been killed and stuff about that. Let me ask you, as we close out, is there a way that people can contact you, or a website they can go to?
Yeah, yes. The GonzalezFoundation.org.